or just getting started,
Gotcha.
you know. But 1 to 5 years, rate is variable, daily, weekly payments, 650 for a startup, less than 6 months time in the business.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Plus that, plus
Unbelievable.
that credit score too.
Well,
I,
then you got the real estate collateral. They're going to require something to put a lien on,
yeah.
but do raw land as long as you've got equity. But they want real estate with improvements, or they'll accept raw land. But it should have some outbuildings or something that's an improvement that offers equity, and it should have proper drainage for grading and all this other stuff.
Got it.
They're not requiring all those things. I'm just kind of editorializing.
So we're probably going to open up to questions, but I wanted to show you if you need to contact Patrick, here's his email, patrick@neededfunding.com. Here's his phone number you can get him at. And then another very simple way to get hold of him is if you just go to neededfunding.com, and there's in this talks about all the different things he does. But if you just click here to apply now, there's just a very simple form that you fill out with your name, your phone number, your address, kind of goes through what you're looking for. And, you can fill this out and he'll get right back with you. So,
yeah. We get calls every day on these.
yeah. So anyway, I'll open it up to questions if anybody's got anything. I just got to make sure everybody's unmuted, I think. Has anybody got a question?
What is everybody out there trying to accomplish? I'd be interested in hearing from everyone on that one.
I wonder if
I'm sorry, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My name is Kamika, and I'm very new to the investing world. And I saw a lot of the slides in reference to the funding. The minimum requirement is that the business be in business for at least 2 years. I may have missed it. I'm not sure, but did you talk about if there's any funding for if your business has less than that? Because I've only been in business for about 6 months, and my biggest obstacle is trying to find the funding for the real estate investments that I'm trying to be a part of or go after.
Okay, so what might be appropriate for you is something called transactional funding. This is not available anywhere that I know of in the Detroit area except through us. And
is it available through other parts of the country? Because a lot of the people are.
I think that there's people offering it, but the question is, how are you going to, maintain the relationship with the title company if you're in New York and the buyers in California?
So, ma'am, where are you located?
I'm located in Washtenaw County, Ann Arbor, Michigan, Ypsilanti area.
Yeah.
Huh?
That would work.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So it probably makes sense for you to contact and talk to Patrick directly, so he can look at your personal circumstances too and see if there was money available just to be, as an individual, to be able to put a deal together, right, Patrick? You could.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because we were just talking about this is like the best solution for people to approach, but there's still all the traditional real estate funding, like getting a regular mortgage and stuff like that. So he's got a ton of programs for that too, so he can sit down and address that with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
No, thank you for the question.
Yeah, and there is no dumb question, because Patrick can tell you I ask a lot of questions when him and I are talking, because some of the things I don't follow
I haven't heard
the lingo
ever.
So you have to break it down dummy for me. So anybody else? Jen, go ahead. Ask a question.
Thank you. I do have a question about the LLC. I know that is obviously to protect yourself, but can you tell me a little bit more about once you obtain the LLC, you have to be in business for 6+ months, maybe up to 24 months before you can apply for funding. Is that right? And also, can you tell me the pros and cons, mainly the cons, I guess, of the LLC as far as the funding? I don't know if there's a higher down payment required, higher interest rates. I don't know what's associated with that when you're an LLC versus coming in as just a, regular individual purchasing real estate.
Okay, so there's a few questions here. I guess the first one I think I heard was there was something directed to about the length of time, the 24 months to 6 months that you're trying to get the protections and the advantages that come with the LLC. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay, so the number one thing that people need to realize, in my personal opinion, is that the landscape is like shifted to this thing where people won't even talk to you unless you're a business. So there's solutions available within that, and it may or may not require the seasoning necessary that you're referring to, especially on something like transactional funding, which is a short-term money loan. The nature of the transactional funding is such that it's not just a short-term money loan. You're renting the money for a week to 10 days, maybe 30 hours. It just depends on how you set it up. But those things are done for a number of reasons. And if you give me a call, I can go over those reasons with you.
But your interest is not for short term, is it for long term?
It would be long-term, just to get through a rehab, more or less.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got fix and flip, but they might be looking for 24 months tax statements. But if you qualify based on W-2 income
Okay.
or
So
have
I
a
guess
partner,
I'm new to the concept of the LLC, so I just had questions about that as far as, how that might hurt us as far as getting started and finding funding, but you're saying there's options out there and I can contact you directly for that.
absolutely. And what you'll find is that if there's a will, there's a way to get just about anything you want done, just as long as I can meet some basic criteria.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. And anybody that thinks like what we're saying, they don't qualify, they should contact Patrick, because what he's trying to do is say it's ideal to get a limited liability company. So like we would say, we would recommend you to form a limited liability company. It flows through to your personal tax returns the same as if you were an individual, and it would allow you some better opportunities probably for funding. But the other traditional stuff's all still there. So am I saying that correctly, Patrick?
I agree with that. Yeah, there's
Okay.
nothing that's out of sorts.
So,
Yeah. No, yeah, we'll find a way. Just give me a buzz and we can chit chat, and I can give you some insights into certain areas that I believe would benefit from. But I would like to talk with you directly so I had an opportunity to at least understand your situation, because I don't, no doctor's going to write a script unless he knows that their pain is here and what kind of pain, and they ask a bunch of questions.
Right. Thank you.
Sure.
great. Somebody else with a question?
Quiet group.
It is, yeah. 2 participants raised their hands, so so go ahead, one of you. I'm slow at, I'm trying to find where the hands get raised. Okay, here they are. Just go ahead, one of you speak up. I'm trying to figure out how to, more chat. Okay, I removed the permission to talk, so you should be able to just talk. Jen, go ahead. You might have to unmute yourself. If you've got your mic muted, you have to unmute it.
Yeah, I think everybody, like myself, is new to all the controls for these things. It is a miracle that we're all together, though. Yes.
There we go.
Hello,
Yeah, we can hear you.
how you doing?
Good.
Good, good. So my question is specific to a LLC that I'm a member of. There's four of us that are members, and what we do is we are in the drug addiction rehab business, and we're looking to get housing for sober living to house sober living clients, and we're looking to get a loan for the down payment of the housing. I mean, we've been in business for a couple years. We do have profit. We just the cash flow is kind of tight, and we don't want to expend our profit for that. But we spend about $20,000 a month on renting housing. So we want to buy a property. So would there be some kind of working capital that we can borrow to make up for the down payment, and then we can obviously get the rest financed through our lender?
I don't see why not.
Um, just so, what kind of program would we be able to? Would there be a specific program for that? Does it matter what we use the working capital for?
Well, with the working capital that you're referring to is this down payment.
Right.
So what you probably want to do is look to a vehicle like transactional funding, where we're loaning you the money to do that through a letter of credit.
Okay.
And then,
And then,
and then you pay a fee for that rental of that money to get you through that transaction, and you close the deal. And then from there, it's up to you to have an exit through other funding, so you're not hanging out there.
So that's something you could help them structure, Patrick.
I could help them structure that. Yeah.
and will we qualify through individual credit? Everyone's individual. It's an LLC. So will it be the LLC?
There's a new sort of thing going through most of the loan correspondence that we work with, where they want to see a maximum of 2 applicants on a loan, of which they look at the if it's one person, they'll look at the middle score. If it's 2 people, they'll look at the lowest of the scores. So whatever the scores are, the lowest scores would be represented as your score in total. So I suggest you find a partner who has really good grades.
So 2 of the people that have the best grade basically out of the group.
Right. You want to pick the best person out of the group, and then the weakest person is going to represent your credit score.
Okay. And what kind of credit scores do you think you need to qualify for something like that?
For it's not credit based for the transactional funding.
Okay.
So it's normally like a 3.99 fee for rental of the money.
Okay. Okay, so I can just contact you, right? And we can talk about it.
Yeah, but you can see what I'm talking about. It's pretty cheap money. What people don't realize what this is. It's a home run.
Yeah, it's very cheap. And then the rest will be through conventional, obviously, or hard money.
When you say conventional, you got a company, a business. So
Right.
you're buying a non-owner occupied property, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you probably wouldn't want to go through traditional residential loans because they don't like that.
Right. You'll be like will be like a hard money lender, or you'll be like a commercial loan.
No, you'd be just one of the non-qualifying program we talked about, the non-qualifying mortgage.
Okay.
It is a way for everything that is off the table for traditional, but still in the normal accepted function of it. Like FHA would require seasoning, where you have to wait 6 months before you could buy the property.
Right.
People aren't going for that, so they want to buy it now. So they want to come to us and skirt those seasoning requirements.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. I'll
Thank
be
you.
contacting you. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think it is, who else had a question? Anybody?
Jen had one in the beginning, I think. And then I don't know if she's still on or not.
Um,
No, we do other stuff too, you know, we do assisted living, environmental stuff. I mean, when I say assisted living, I mean like fund the loans
Yeah,
from the ground.
Lorraine did have her hand up, so
Oh,
I'm gonna click allow to talk.
okay, please.
So
Hello.
there you go. Hi.
Oh, I didn't think that I could be unmuted. Okay, so I've been in business for 2 years, but I think that me and my husband credit score, we both own the business together, 50-50, but we both have credit scores that's below 500. So is we able to still get funding or not quite?
You can get transactional funding, but because it's not credit score driven, you could get PPP funding. That's not credit score funded either. I mean, it's not credit score sensitive, but most things would probably be appropriate to get started cleaning up your credit. And we'll be happy to work with you on that too.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking
Yeah.
forward to it. So I can contact you on the number that's on the screen.
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
All right, thank you. Hey, you got a good group here tonight, Mark.
Yeah. Any other questions? I'm gonna need some more training on how to unmute people and do stuff. So anybody I've cut off, I apologize. So, but please feel free to contact Patrick. I think that's it for the questions. So I want to thank everybody for being on the call, and we're going to end it now. And feel free to contact Patrick at any of the sources there, neededfunding.com, patrick@neededfunding.com, or the phone number there, the 855-73-1122.
734-1122.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
Okay, Patrick, thank you for doing this for us.
pleasure. Thanks everybody for coming out. This really is, I think, an important discussion that we needed to have. And I'm delighted to have the opportunity to sit down and visit with everybody. And I'm looking forward to your phone calls. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you think we don't qualify for something, still call them, you can talk about, ask him your questions or
Yeah,
email them.
that's my job, is to get you qualified.
Yeah. And if you don't, then you'll work with them to get there. So, okay, guys, thank you very much. We really appreciate you.
Thank you so much. You mean a lot.